Happy Friday! It's August 7th, 2020, and most importantly, it's another day to be thankful to being on the right side of the ground. Whether you are starting your day, enjoying lunch, driving, or tuning in a different day that this episode drops, really appreciate you tuning in. I am looking forward to enjoying this cup of coffee with you today. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Please tag me in more good news this week and share the episode with at least one person. Also, if you give a shout out on social, please tag me in it so I know. As always, huge thanks for everyone for sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review last week. Hey Matt, what are we talking about on today's episode?
Hey Eddie, we're talking about good news.
Great, thanks Matt. In case this is your first time tuning in, welcome in. You made it right on time. On behalf of myself and all the other modern believers out there, we're happy to have you in. There's always room for one more. Before we begin, though, you may be wondering, Eddie, what or who is the modern believer? That's a great question. Here's my answer. The modern believer is you. It's our families, it's me, it's our communities. In a world with so many contrasting views, it seems we're constantly bombarded with news that do the opposite of cheering us up. We can all agree on one thing, though, and that is that we all enjoy a positive story that reminds us that there is humanity and a lot of good going on in the world. The modern believer is an individual that knows change can happen. Let's begin. Listen to stories. A 94-year-old tamale vendor in Santa Ana, Jose Villa Ochoa, or better known as Don Joel, was taken back by the act of a good Samaritan. Kenya Barragan is an inspiration to remember to take care of our people and our communities. What started as a gut reaction quickly went viral. Kenya raised over $80,000 for Don Joel after he expressed that due to his age, no one would hire him. Fox 11 LA broke these news. And here are some of Kenya's words from the interview as to why she did this in the first place.
I felt for him. My parents are both, older. And I would hate to see my dad out, selling tamales for somebody and barely making ends meet.
Whether it's a smile or a call to action, it's easier to be kind. Lend a hand to those in need when you can. Roll over, save lives, good boy. Max from Dyfed Powell's Police Canine Unit is a vet in the making. After vigorous training, he was ready to go to save lives. I just knew what I had to do, is what Max probably would say if he could talk. This German Shepherd in the UK found a mother and her 1-year-old on his first day at the job. The family had been missing for a few days, according to the police. On the first day of the job, Max and his handler, Police Constable Peter Lloyd, traveled miles to find and rescue the family. Dogs truly are just amazing, noble creatures. Max will be telling the story at the local drinking hole. Literally. Most importantly, the mother and the baby are safe. Good boy. He is known as Five. A waiter at the 42nd Street Oyster Bar in Raleigh, North Carolina, is no stranger to kindness. Five, as his colleagues call him, is a humble guy that, though he may not like attention, sometimes he can't help it because what he does tends to be unavoidable. Or better yet, tends to grab the attention, and the attention is unavoidable. A mother and child came to eat one day. The mother started feeding her son, who has cerebral palsy, and Five's instincts kicked in. Five coordinated with his colleagues to help him out with the other tables while he took over feeding the son so the mother's meal would not go cold, so she could enjoy her meal. Aside from good news, this just proves it's easier to be kind and follow your instinct. We tend to look out for ourselves first before we look out for each other, and though it makes sense, it all boils down to the fact that we're all one human race. I'm glad to see that this went viral and that he got some of the recognition he deserved. He received letters from all over the world and recognition. Kind deeds don't always go unnoticed, people. Thank you, Five, for being the change in the world you wanted to see. I want you to think of one thing you're grateful for today. If you think of more than one, that's great. Let's just take a few seconds to be grateful. Hey Matt, what are you thankful for today?
I'm grateful for a great day to go hiking out in Mother Nature.
Matt, I'm with you. Nothing like fresh air and Mother Nature. Today, I'm also grateful for all the Matts and Michaelas out there. Happy birthday to you both. The world became a better place when you were born. Though we can keep talking for hours and hours and hours about the good news and great things going on in the world, go about your day. Fly. Be free. But before we go,
Let's make today a great day, and don't forget to visit your local state park and explore the outdoors.
much love, Matt. Everyone, please send more good news and share to friends, family, coworkers, and anyone else you believe would enjoy good news every Monday and Friday. Please leave feedback in the form of a review, download, and follow. What cool stuff's going on in your community and company? What do you want to hear about next? Comment on the IGTV video or tweet at me. Ultimately, you are the one that's taking the time to join me and all the other modern believers out there. If you want good news shared, please post it and use the hashtag #GoodNewsIsTheGoodNews. It costs $0 to be a kind human being, everyone. So keep smiling and loving all the people that we encounter in our walks of life. I want to thank you for your time and remind you that I love you and I am immensely proud of you no matter where you are in life. You have a friend in me. That smile you give, uplifting attitude to a complete stranger, whether a cashier, store clerk, or the person handing you your food, may completely change their day. And maybe, just maybe, thanks to the love you give them, they start spreading that love to others. And then, boom, we build a beautiful chain reaction of love. Stay blessed and keep fighting the good fight. Thanks for joining today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Make it a great day.